Have you ever seen the movie Minority Report? Because apparently pre-crimes, not imminent threats, are now justification for wars. Joe Kent, the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, has resigned. And according to his own letter, Iran posed no imminent threat to the United States. So does that mean we're making decisions based on what someone might do in the future? Because when it comes to war, that's not a standard. The standard is imminent threat. And imminent does not mean that maybe someday they could become dangerous. Imminent means it's about to happen, with no time to wait and no room for guesswork. So if we're acting on predictions instead of evidence, that's not defense, that's speculation and assumptions. And the reason this matters even more right now is because the person responsible for coordinating counterterrorism intelligence for the entire government is saying that the threshold for war was never met. And Kent isn't some outside critic. He's not a partisan Democrat and he's not a never-Trumper. He is MAGA to the core. And up until now, he was a strong supporter of Donald Trump. So this isn't coming from political opposition. It's coming from inside the circle, which should prompt every American to ask, if there was no imminent threat, why did we act? This isn't about party politics. It's about the process. It's about protecting life. And when the most critical decision is sending Americans into the fray, the Constitution gives that power to Congress. The president is supposed to respond to real immediate threats. That's it. Now we see action first and them chasing justification. And when that justification starts to look more like future risk instead of present danger, we've crossed into dangerous territory. We've seen what happens when threat assessments are stretched to fit a narrative. The 2003 invasion of Iraq. There were strong claims of weapons of mass destruction tied to terror groups, and they were absolutely confident in that messaging. But later, a whole lot of questions. So before 10 years passed and 1,000 Americans are returned in flag-draped boxes, let me ask you a question. If the standard is imminent threat and the intelligence community is saying that standard wasn't met, why are you not demanding scrutiny over this decision? And that goes for Congress, for intelligence oversight, for all of us. Because here's what should concern us. Trump has already spoke about ending wars when he feels it in his bones. So did he start a war based on instincts? Because military action doesn't start based off feelings. It requires standards. And standard for a president to take immediate action is imminent threat, not it might happen one day. So if a ranking MAGA member of the intelligence community with access to top intel is willing to resign because we went to war with no imminent threat, then I gotta ask, did Trump start this war based on facts or feelings?